Roll down the window, I need me some air. Blasting the music, they stare. I'll get me diamonds, hey baby, I care. Too much about it, I dare. You to try me, homie, listen here, there. All that you do is just stare.
Well, I said what I said. I asked and I shall receive. Out of all the so-called young superstars, and that's who wins? Well, that's funny because I thought all of you were man enough to win. Well, that's all right with me, Stone Cold. I'll do what I do to everyone who steps in front of me, and that's claymore your head off your shoulders.
As we continue with the main event, ladies and gentlemen, of Raw.
It's scheduled for one fall, and it's for the WWE United States Championship.
That is right, at Saturday night's main event. And here he comes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring in this championship match once again. He sees the opportunity at Saturday night's main event because Drew McIntyre had issued and had planned a 5-man gauntlet eliminator, and the winner was going to get a chance at Drew McIntyre's U.S. champion. And Stone Cold Steve Austin here tonight. Always, no matter where he's at in the world, he is loved by the fans. And here tonight, this match is going to be awesome. Drew McIntyre versus Stone Cold Steve Austin here tonight, live. And now here comes the current United States champion, ladies and gentlemen, the man who won this champion at the Elimination Chamber. And Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, walking in with the purpose, and that purpose is beating the life out of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, soaking it all in here tonight. And Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, was not at Saturday night's main event, but he was at the previous Saturday night's main event when he was in SmackDown, and he had faced off against Cody Rhodes in a Hell in a Cell match for the World Heavyweight Champion. And this is the champion that they are going to be fighting for, ladies and gentlemen. The United States champion is being defended here tonight.
Introducing the challenger from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin ready for a fight.
His opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, the WWE United States champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
And Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, also ready for a fight. Ever since Drew McIntyre won the US champion, he has been booed, ladies and gentlemen. And now let's begin with the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Stone Cold versus Drew McIntyre. Stone Cold not in the prime that he used to be, ladies and gentlemen, but he's still in his good condition here tonight. He has been proving it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the back, he's been warming up all night for this match, getting ready, putting his mind that if he puts in the work here tonight, he might walk out with the US champion. And now Stone Cold continues to lock that arm of Drew McIntyre, and I know Drew McIntyre is in immense pain here tonight. I think Stone Cold is trying to teach Drew McIntyre a lesson here tonight. Different eras, different generations, ladies and gentlemen. Fighting for one thing that has been going on for quite some time, the US champion. And talking about US champion, Stone Cold actually won the US champion before he lost it to Dominic Mysterio. And now Drew McIntyre trying to choke the life and a big knee to the back of Stone Cold, and now Drew McIntyre feels in control. Now Stone Cold goes for the cover. Now Stone Cold showing resiliency, ladies and gentlemen, showing that he still got it. Oh, and a Luther press onto Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. And now look at Stone Cold looking to clock it in with a stunner, and he does. And now Drew McIntyre and Stone Cold goes for the cover, and Drew McIntyre kicks out. Barely kicking out, ladies and gentlemen. Drew McIntyre not even getting up after kicking out. Oh, now look at Stone Cold, ladies and gentlemen. And a running bulldog face first to the mat. And now Drew McIntyre crawling to the corner. And a headbutt by Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, sends him to the ropes. Oh my goodness, and just tossing him like a sack of potatoes, like he weighs nothing, ladies and gentlemen. That is a dangerous Drew McIntyre. And Drew chopping it away on the chest of Stone Cold. Now both men fighting it out, throwing punches, throwing everything that they got, and Drew McIntyre tosses Stone Cold Steve Austin like nothing for the second time. Oh no, he has him again in that position and tosses him for the third time. Drew showing his immense power and strength that he still has, and the big boot to the face of Stone Cold. And now look at Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, with the powerbomb onto Austin, and he goes for the cover. And a running bulldog by Stone Cold once again. And the crowd is loving this here tonight. Ooh, and quickly Drew McIntyre with the shoulder tackle. And the suplex by Drew McIntyre. And another suplex by Drew McIntyre, and Stone Cold gets up real quick. Now both men sharing blows back and forth, ladies and gentlemen, throwing punches and chops and slaps. Anything that they could throw, they will throw. And a big boot to top it off by Drew McIntyre. And another suplex. And now Drew McIntyre locks it in once again with another suplex. Ooh, and the big knee to the gut, ladies and gentlemen. And now look at Stone Cold going to the corner and eyeing Drew McIntyre from the back, takes him down. Oh no, and he stopped that one in a clothesline. And Drew McIntyre and Stone Cold catching him and making him land on the ropes. And now look at Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, with the big punch to the gut and the chop. Oh, now what is Stone Cold looking to do? And an axe handle from the back and the top, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Stone Cold with the Luthes press onto Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. And he quickly goes for the cover. And new, ladies and gentlemen, he did it.
Here is your winner.
We have a new United States champion, ladies and gentlemen.
States champion, Stone Cold Steve.
What an incredible main event, ladies and gentlemen, and the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin once again reuniting with the U.S. champion that he lost. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching.